HUNTRX and K-pop Demon Hunters directors on how they made something iconic. K-pop Demon Hunters is one of the most surprising success stories of 2025. The animated musical fantasy film is the rare family-friendly endeavors that has genuinely crossed generational barriers to appeal to viewers of all ages. Fun, emotional, and full of catchy original songs, K-pop Demon Hunters has charmed its way into hearts around the world. K-pop Demon Hunters may be a breezy watch, but that ease is the result of countless hours invested by a large creative team. That team includes first-time director Maggie Kang, also a co-writer, and co-director Chris Applehands, and the unsung singers behind the fictional band HUNTRX. While K-pop Demon Hunters Rumi, Zoey, and Mira are voiced by Arden Cho, Ji Young-yu, and Mei Hong respectively, the characters' songs are performed by EJ, Ray Aimi, and Audrey Nuna respectively. EJ even lent her writing skills to the project, co-writing songs including How It's Done and Golden, the latter of which has sat atop the Billboard Hot 100. Screen Rant's Ash Crossan interviewed Maggie Kang, Chris Applehands, EJ, Ray Aimi, and Audrey Nuna about their work on the smash hit film. They revealed the surprising challenges behind Netflix's most successful film ever and shared what they most want to see in a sequel. These were the K-pop Demon Hunters' biggest challenges. K-pop Demon Hunters is an incredibly ambitious film, blending one of the world's most popular musical genres with a fantasy action story for all ages. Directors Maggie Kang and Chris Applehands shared how challenging the process was and what the tallest hurdles were for them during development. Screen Rant asked, "I want to start with the journey of going into this movie. Did it always feel big, or was there a moment you guys were like, wow, this is beyond anything we could ever imagine?" Maggie Kang said, "All of it. I mean, it felt really big when we were working through it. A lot of different things needed to come together in order to be able to pull it off, and we kept saying that, like, can we pull this off?" It was a lot, with the songs and the animation and the choreography and then the story and then the comedy. So many things had to come together for every scene to work, and so it was a huge undertaking. We started to solve things piece by piece, and we learned how to tackle everything, even go about the music scenes as we were making it. We kind of figured it out, and I think we pulled it off, I'd say. Chris Applehands said, "I remember doing the final mix on the Sony lot and seeing it on a giant screen with the music turned up so loud and all the finished lighting and animation. I just remember hanging out with the crew who came to that, and everyone was kind of just vibrating. And I remember thinking, this is not normal. I mean, you always feel proud of what you've made, but there's this sort of euphoria that we all felt. I'm like, I don't know what it means, but it feels unique. And now I see that going to the sing-alongs. I'm like, oh, we're all feeling it now together. So that was awesome." Screen Rant asked, "You mentioned all the pieces coming together. What would you say was the biggest challenge or biggest nut to crack when you were putting it together?" Maggie Kang said, "It's always story. That's the thing that you spend the most time on. You start with it, you start with the draft and figuring that out and all the brain power that goes into crafting that, but that's not where it ends with animation. You're just writing to the last possible moment, until you're at the recording session and the words need to be spoken by the actor. And even then you could kind of grab something from another clip and swap out words. So until it's fully animated with the dialogue that will be in the final thing, you're able to write and change things. So you're just constantly writing. And so it's all about story. And that's the thing that takes the most time." Musically, the song that was most difficult for songwriter and performer EJ may not be the one you would expect. Screen Rant asked, "What was the hardest song to write and why?" EJ responded, "How It's Done. It was hard. It had so many different versions. It's the intro scene. It's such an important scene. It was going to be the intro scene, so it's such an important scene. It was the first impression of the movie, so it was going to be an iconic scene. And just to match up to that energy, it was like, no pressure. So much pressure. So we had lots of versions for that. Different song versions, literally. And demos, seriously, 30, 40? It had different titles. The performers behind HUNTRX are just as excited as Applehands and Kang about the film's reception. Audrey Nuna said, "Shout out to our 7-year-old selves.
Honestly, because I think it's representation at its highest level of excellence. It's just cool to see how this movie has connected with so many people on just a human-to-human level, but also for it to be acclaimed critically for what it is. I think that's a really hard pocket to occupy. It's super validating. EJ said, and not just as a songwriter, not just as a singer, not just as a director, also for us, at least for me as a Korean American, it means so much. HUNTR singers share their favorite K-pop Demon Hunter songs. There are enough HUNTR songs in K-pop Demon Hunters to make audiences feel like the fictional band isn't so fictional after all. EJ, Audrey Nuna, and Ray Aimi shared which of the pieces of music they worked on meant the most to them. Screen Rant asked, "What song do you personally relate to the most, and why?" EJ answered, "Golden." Audrey Nuna said, "What it sounds like." Ray Aimi said, "Yeah, that was a tough one to record for me." EJ said, "For me, it was Golden for sure. I was going through a hard time when writing it, and I was in K-pop training myself, and that was also really hard, with a lot of feeling like you're not enough. The song was about striving to get that dream. I really wanted that dream so badly, so putting that in the lyric and singing it, I did cry recording the demo, so that song just means a lot to me. I think it gives me a lot of hope."